Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this is my Strawberry Shortcake island and I am so excited to be working on it today. This island is a mutual series that I work on with my friend Champ here on YouTube. We're called the Berry Besties, and as you can see, I'm playing the role of Strawberry Shortcake while she plays the role of one of my great friends, 𝐤𝐤𝐚𝐬. Now, it's been about a week since I've uploaded a new episode because I started a new island and the theme is Little Pet Shop. I now have 3 islands I'm working on, and I am planning to do YouTube videos weekly for each of them. So I'm really out here doing the most within this game to be extra creative and just express myself in different ways, exploring all of the different childhood nostalgic feelings that I've gone through or enjoyed as time has gone on. Which brings us today. So as I mentioned before, Strawberry Shortcake has a lot of friends, including her friend 𝐤𝐤𝐬𝐬, and right now we're focusing on her friend Plum Puddin. When I first sat down to start planning Plum Puddin's area, I thought to myself, how am I going to accurately create an area on my island that'll look aesthetic on the map and represent this character and her different aesthetics and passions versus the rest of the characters. I was chatting with some friends on one of my live streams when they reminded me that Plum was a ballerina and she really liked to dance. This automatically gave me the instant inspo to start creating a beautiful bow / ribbon on the map, and of course a heart shape to surround her home with her villager. So that's what we're building now. And then I started thinking about myself and childhood vibes and nostalgic energies because these islands really do bring that out in me. And I feel like every day is a day to show up for yourself in any capacity, whether it's the version of you today or a past version of you. My online community is a lot about healing your inner child and finding a good balance between who you are today and who you wanted to be in the past. And working on this section really brought that out of me for some reason. I think it's because when I was a little girl, I really wanted to do a lot. Like, I had big dreams. I mean, more like huge dreams. From being a ballerina to a cheerleader to an artist to a fashion designer to even an actress to a model, there was a million things I wanted to do. I was convinced that I was going to have a star-studded career and I was going to be the next big thing. Like, can you just picture me now? I feel like it wasn't that far off, especially with the career I'm in today. When it comes to these different visions and passions that I developed as a kid, I realized that all of them had a very similar theme. Of course, they were very feminine and girly, which is something that I feel completes me as a person, but they also involved a lot of creative space for me to express myself, which is something that I do today a lot within my content creation. And I can treasure greatly nearly every single day as I choose to continue to log on and live stream and create videos and be vulnerable and just share more and more about me and learn more and more about me as I do these little projects. When I'm working on an island in Animal Crossing, it feels like I'm designing my own little world. Each corner is like a scene in a movie, each flower placement is like a brushstroke in a painting, and every tiny detail is a nod to those creative visions I had as a kid. And then there's this content creation part, the part where it all kind of connects for me. Because it's not just about my little kid self or even me now. It's about the fact that I get to share my creativity and my passions and my desires with others, with you, and you can relate to them and you could share yours too, and we can all have our different perspectives while still relating to the fact of a simple enjoyment of a memory, a moment, a character, a color, or anything else that maybe sparked joy, interest, passion, or creativity in us and are younger versions of ourselves. Content creation is like the modern version of being an actress or an artist. I get to perform, I get to design, I get to connect with people. Instead of acting out scenes for an audience in front of a camera, I'm showing off my island for all of you to enjoy. I get to play different characters like Strawberry Shortcake and Barbie, and still be myself at the end of the day. It's like I'm still playing the roles, just in a more interactive way. And instead of using costumes and different makeup effects, I get to use this game and your codes and your beautiful artwork and just play with these characters like my little dolls. When I think about it, it's like these islands are just like a dream house. Even though I am working on a Barbie dream house and this island isn't specifically that one, it's crazy to me to think about the fact that at one point in our lives, we used to imagine different things, pretend that we were fairies or princesses or something else that you may have wanted to be, and have these little interactions with your stuffed animals or Barbies or whatever favorite toys that you had. We'd design little pretend worlds and they'd feel so real that you would honestly want to escape to them. Today, it's like the same thing, but the fact that matters is that we actually can. And I think that's so cool. When I was a little kid, I used to have a lot of favorite shows, of course, and one of them was Dragon Tales. This show was really old, and I feel like it was a blessing that I got to see it. But in Dragon Tales, they used to have this like little rock that the kids would use to go to an imaginary world with dragons. And I used to want that so badly. I wanted to have a space where I could go and be around my friends and everything I ever imagined that I wanted or desired or wanted to do would just come true. And I'm not saying that being online is like being in a magic world where anything and everything you want comes to life, but it is pretty close. And I feel like that's so cool because back when I was little, this was not a possibility. This was not a thought. This was not, well, maybe it was, maybe I didn't know, but at the end of the day, it definitely wasn't something super prevalent at the time. And I would have never in a million years guessed that I could have the opportunity to just have a world of my own within this giant universe and be able to name it and be able to be myself within it and let other people be themselves and be okay with being sensitive and girly and soft and nostalgic and all the other things that sometimes the outside world does not really care for or maybe isn't so open to. And all of this to say that honestly, I am so glad to be creating a Strawberry Shortcake Island. I know it's been done at least a handful of times within this community, and we all had our different perspectives on her. I'm doing the early 2003 to 2009 Strawberry Shortcake. Others are doing the beginning Strawberry Shortcakes. And I just think that's so awesome that we can all get together and relate and share this nostalgic feeling of a character that we loved, maybe we resonated with, or we just sought comfort in. So enough of me being prolific. Obviously, with my 5-year anniversary of being a full-time content creator coming up at the end of this month, I am deeply appreciative, nostalgic, and just speechless still of everything that I have going on in my life and what my life has become and where it's going. And I feel like when I sat down to start working on these projects for this month, and I sat down to think about the fact that I've been doing this for 5 years, and maybe not YouTube, maybe not these videos, but creating content and creating islands I wanted to start using these platforms and my voice and these projects in a deeper and meaningful way. I want to be able to constantly be able to share what purpose I serve and what my content space is about. and why I decide to choose to wake up every day and do this, and why you would choose to click on this video versus any other one, or tune into my live streams versus any other live streams. So I've been thinking about a lot of things, and I have been creating a lot of things, and I am just happy to be here. Today, right now, what I'm working on the stream slash video is a giant sakura flower. In the Berry Besties series, you have seen my friend Cass, who's also working on this, create a sakura flower for her island, and it wraps around her whole resident service. So I figured for her character, when it comes time for them to live on the island, we would have a giant sakura flower for her house to be placed in. So that's what I'm up to today. You also saw the completion of Plum Puddin, hopefully, and a lot of villager houses being moved to get to this point and build this up. I am so grateful for you to listen to my nostalgic tales and reminiscent stories. If this is something you like as far as my editing style goes, please let me know. I'd love to do more topic-based story time telling, chatting, reminiscing, whatever you call it, through these editing videos. If it makes it even more enjoyable or entertaining, or just helps inspire you, whether it's to play this game or do something else that's creative or passionate in your life, I'm glad that you were able to click on this video and hopefully make it this far into it. And I thank you so much for following along with this series and supporting any of my creative endeavors. I would love to know what you're working on in Animal Crossing or any other cozy game that you might be into right now. Definitely comment that down below. And on the topic of childhood dreams and ambitions, I'd also like to know, what is one thing that you can remember as a kid wanting to do or be in your life? I mentioned several of them, like being a ballerina, a cheerleader, a model, a fashion designer, an artist, and even an actress. So as you can tell, I was booked and busy when it comes to being creative and trying to be something, I guess. So I'm curious to see what you were thinking of. Maybe you weren't thinking of anything. Maybe you were like head empty. You're like, girl, I was thinking about the next snack I was going to eat. And that's okay too. But I definitely would love to hear maybe even just something you enjoyed from your childhood, even if it's just your favorite show or character or anything else. Thank you again for making it this far into the video. I hope you enjoyed watching me create this, well, attempt to create this giant sakura flower. Like everything I do, I always feel like I can make it better. So I'm sure over time you will see the critique. But for now, hopefully you got a quick peek of the map here and you can see the vision that is this giant sakura flower for cherry jam. Thanks again, friends, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll catch you next week for a new episode of the Berry Besties.